Notre Dame had its big cookout recruiting event on Tuesday, July 27th. The staff called it the Grill and Chill event. Handful of top 2023 targets headlined the event. Some commits, 2024 players. Big time recruiting day for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and in this video we're going to break down some of the key headlines. Before we dive into the video, please hit the thumbs up if you like what you see in this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Blue and Gold for more Notre Dame athletics coverage. Definitely not too late to pick up a copy of the 2021 Notre Dame football preview. 160 full glossy pages, opponent previews, position breakdowns, recruiting information, features on the players, so much more. Probably the biggest news of the day was Notre Dame offering its fourth quarterback in the 2023 class from the Wichita, Kansas area. Avery Johnson, listed at 6'3", 170 pounds. Per Rivals, holds 13 offers, including the likes of Arizona State, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Iowa State, Kansas State, Minnesota, several others, of course, including Notre Dame. I spoke to him about his Notre Dame offer. You can find the full story in the description box of this video, as well as at blueandgold.com. Quick quote from Johnson here. He was pictured with offensive coordinator Tommy Rees and on the left side of the screen, holding up the Heisman Trophy. He said, "I was smiling from ear to ear. I couldn't be more excited and blessed." And we'll pop on some of his sophomore clips as we continue to talk about Johnson. Really athletic football player. I mean, look, you see him with his height, and then you look at the athleticism, rolling to his left, delivering a nice throw off platform. You know, he went into this week not planning on throwing for Tommy Rees on Tuesday, but that's exactly what he ended up doing. He worked out for Rees, threw to a 2024 tight end who was also camping for Notre Dame, Jack Larson from North Carolina. So threw with him. And Rees was really impressed with not only his athleticism, but his size. He ran a 4.6 40-yard dash, did Johnson, which really impressed Notre Dame. This is just a really intriguing quarterback prospect. Reminds me some of Tyler Buckner. Now Buckner's junior tape was, probably the best, maybe not the best quarterback tape I've seen, but maybe the most exciting highlight tape I've seen at the quarterback position. You pop on Buckner's junior season, and what you see from Johnson during his sophomore season, it kind of reminds me of that, just that overall athleticism, what he can do in the pocket, but then when he gets outside the pocket, he can make throws. He's athletic. He's got the size. He's got a great head of hair. That's important at the quarterback position. Kidding, but you definitely have to like this offer if you're a Notre Dame fan. He's not ranked by Rivals just yet. But seems to have a really high ceiling. 3-sport athlete, plays basketball at a high level, led his high school to the Class 5A Kansas state championship. He was named the most outstanding player in the state tournament. Also a really good baseball player at outfield. So you're looking at a really good athlete at the quarterback position who throws the ball really well, impressed Tommy Rees enough to get a scholarship offer. And now, he's definitely a name that Fighting Irish fans are going to want to keep an eye on. And I mentioned him as a basketball player. Watch this clip, him getting a rebound, going coast to coast, and throwing down a thunderous dunk. Let's watch that one more time, putting this poor young man on a poster. Avery Johnson going up and throwing it down. So certainly intriguing with Notre Dame offering Avery Johnson. Also visiting on Tuesday was Dante Moore from Detroit, Martin Luther King High School, number 30 overall player in the country. This was his second time visiting campus. He was at Notre Dame at the end of June. And then we learned last week that he would be coming for the cookout recruiting event. Moore got in later than he expected to because of some traffic on the way from Detroit to South Bend, but got in, spent a couple hours on campus, was there with his teammate offensive lineman Jonathan Slack. They seem to have a really good time. Story on Dante Moore also in the description box of this YouTube video, and the full story at blueandgold.com. Moore really seemed to bond with Tommy Rees. They have a really strong connection. Those two guys click when they're in person together. Seen Moore in person twice. Big time player. Let's go ahead and pop on his film too. Moore is a guy who Notre Dame offered back in March. He and Arch Manning were the first two quarterback offers for the Irish in this 2023 class. Notre Dame then offered Malachi Nelson, but he's since committed to Oklahoma. Arch Manning kind of seems like a long shot for Notre Dame, but we'll see. The schools like Clemson, Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss seem to be mentioned more often with Manning than Notre Dame. But Irish have, if we're ruling Manning out, which I'm not yet, but let's just say we are, and Notre Dame's got Dante Moore and Avery Johnson on the board. A couple of really good options for the Irish, and absolutely love watching Dante Moore throw the football. He's good in camp settings, but when you see him on tape, he's even more impressive. I think the number 30 overall player, wow, it's a nice throw, a nice catch. Number 30 overall player in the country, in my opinion, is a great spot for him, just on the cusp of 5-star status. Dante Moore received an offer from Michigan when he was in the 7th grade. He's been under the spotlight for years now. Has had all sorts of praise, all sorts of criticism, and this is someone who, if Notre Dame gets him, they're going to have a quarterback who's thrown a ton of footballs, played a ton of ball, is again been under the spotlight, throws a really pretty football. He's athletic. I think that's a part of his game, like getting outside the pocket. That's improving. But just when he is in that pocket, he has time to throw the ball. He can sling it with the very best of them. So, Notre Dame and Dante Moore, he's visited campus twice. The Irish were in this one, not quite as early as Michigan, who offered him in the 7th grade again, but, in there still relatively early. He's been to campus twice, seems to really like the Fighting Irish staff led by Tommy Rees. So Notre Dame fans definitely will want to keep on an eye on Dante Moore as well. And we'll continue on. A couple of non-quarterback items to get to. In-state linebacker Drake Bowen, the number 16 overall player in the country, he was on campus. He visited Notre Dame June 1st, the first day that these recruits could take visits again, and he returned for the cookout. This is a big-time player. He's got a top 12 schools list, big-time programs after him. I still really like where Notre Dame's at here. Irish still have more work to do. Staff wants him badly in this class. I think as they continue to push for him, Bowen goes to a Notre Dame game this season. I think they will end up landing him, but again, they have to battle with the likes of Auburn and Clemson and LSU and Michigan. But I don't see Bowen leaving the state of Indiana. Bowen has a great relationship with the coaching staff, Marcus Freeman, Chad Bowden. Talked to Brian Kelly while he was on campus. Notre Dame's going to continue working hard for this elite in-state prospect. So I mentioned earlier, Avery Johnson, the quarterback offer from yesterday, threw for Notre Dame's Tommy Rees. It was a very small camp. Only, I want to say less than 10 prospects took part in kind of this workout, if you will. So Malik Muhammad, 4-star cornerback, 39 scholarship offers per Rivals, including some powerhouse programs. He was on campus Tuesday, worked out for the coaching staff, and I'm told that Muhammad was a rock star, looked fantastic during the workout portion. And I spoke to him. He seemed like he loved his experience at Notre Dame. The cornerback recruiting for Notre Dame, so good in the 2022 cycle. It was really good in 2021 as well. And then you look back at 2020, Clarence Lewis was in that class. He started as a true freshman. So defensive back recruiting just seems to keep getting better and better for Notre Dame, especially with Marcus Freeman and Mike Mickens now on staff at Notre Dame. So keep an eye on Malik Muhammad. Notre Dame seems to be in a good position for him. And last but certainly not least, Kayden Feigen, a young man from the state of Illinois, picked up an offer from Notre Dame, listed at 6'3", 220 pounds. That is a big boy. And how about this? Notre Dame offered him at running back. You typically don't see running backs at that size going into their junior season. Again, that's a big boy. He's got offers from Illinois, Iowa, and Rutgers in addition to Notre Dame. He worked out for Notre Dame's Lance Taylor and Marcus Freeman. So practiced some. He camped some at running back, camped some at linebacker in June. Staff brought him back for a visit in July, saw him again, decided to offer him while he was in person. With Notre Dame being in this recruitment this early, he's a Midwest kid. Yesterday was his 3rd time visiting Notre Dame this summer alone. I think you really got to like where the Fighting Irish are at with Kayden Feigen if they continue to push for him. That's going to do it for this video. If you guys like what you saw, again, please hit that thumbs up and go to blueandgold.com for all of your Notre Dame football recruiting information. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you next time.